We're going to take a look in chapter 6 at solving and graphing linear inequalities. We're going to start with single variable inequalities. So something like x is greater than 3, and then we're going to move to two variable inequalities. So for example, x plus y is less than or equal to 5. Okay, our big ideas. Oh, you can take a look at the prerequisites. But the big ideas are applying the properties of inequalities, using statements with and or the word or, and then of course graphing them. This first lesson is going to be a lot of review. We're going to solve inequalities using only addition and subtraction on this first lesson. It'll be quick. The graph of an inequality in one variable on a number line is the set of points that represent all solutions of the inequality. So when we say n is greater than 3, that's all numbers greater than 3. Now on our number lines, I want two numbers. The number that they are talking about, in this case the 3, and then either a number like 0 or a number above it, you can use 4, whatever. But I want to know where you are orienting yourself. Do not put just the 3. Put two numbers on there. Okay? Since it's greater than 3, those numbers are bigger than 3, like 4, 5, or 6. And keeps going. Okay? A is less than or equal to -2. Here's my 0, -2. Or equal, we fill in the dot because we get to include it. The more ink they have on the inequality symbol, the more ink you use on your graph. Okay, less than -2 would be left of -2, like -3, -10, -100. Okay, x is less than 11. So here we have the 11. I'm going to put 0 down here. It does not have or equal, so it's an open circle. Less than is left of. And the last little example I have is t is greater than or equal to -5. So down here at -5, greater than is like 0, 10, 20. Those are bigger than -5. When the x or the variable is first, the arrow on your inequality symbol matches the arrow on your inequality, okay, on the graph of it. So for example, this inequality has the arrow pointing to the left, so does this one. They match. But if the inequality has the number first and the variable second, it can confuse us. It does me. I always switch it. The symmetric property of equality and inequality lets us reverse our inequality or equation. Okay? So n and -3 are still being compared. If 3 is greater than the number, then the numbers are less than -3. So when you reverse it, notice that the arrow, the inequality symbol, is pointing this at the same quantity. It's pointing at the n, not the -3. On the middle one, I would rewrite this as d is less than or equal to 5. It's still pointing at the d. So now when I go to the 5, less than is left of. And 0 is less than y means y is greater than 0. It's still pointing at the 0. Okay, now since there's only 0 on my inequality, I have to choose another number to put on my number line. I just choose a convenient one. I could have made 1, 2. I could have made whatever, but I need the 0 and one other number. Okay. We use inequalities all the time. If you go to Bismarck and you have $40, that's all you can spend. You can't spend 41. You can't spend 45. You've got to spend $40 or less. And here's an idea. We got a menu. The most expensive items on the menu were $24.99. Write and graph an inequality. So the prices were less than or equal to 24.99, which would graph 0, then I got 24.99, and it could go like this. But an alternative, what if you did the prices were less than $25? Would that be the same? Well, because it's money, less than $25 could be $24.99, so it does work. But if it was $24.59, you could not do that. You could go less than 25. You could go up a penny, but you can't go up 41 cents. Okay, so be careful what you're including, what you're not including. Okay, the lowest temperature setting on the oven was 200 degrees. So that means my temperature started at 200 degrees and they got hotter. Okay, they got hotter. So now my temperatures are greater than or equal to 200 degrees. And again, you would not put with temperatures 199 because there are decimal parts of the temperature. You know from working with Mrs. Eichhorst that there can be decimal parts of a temperature. So very rarely will you be able to do this one, but occasionally you can. Okay, so I kind of started this part of the lesson already. Write an inequality represented by the graph. Okay, so my numbers are greater than 4. You can use whatever you want to, but the numbers I'm showing are greater than or equal. Because the dot is filled in, I include extra numbers. Here my numbers are left of -3. It does not have or equal, so I do not underline that. It doesn't equal -3. They're just left of -3, less than -3. Again, you can use your initials or whatever you'd like. Equivalent inequalities. We already took a look at some. Okay, x is greater than a is equivalent to a is less than x. So we've already looked at using symmetric property to flip them around. But another equivalent inequality can be used by adding or subtracting the same amount to each side of an inequality to produce an equivalent inequality. Okay. In algebra way, if a is greater than b, if we add the same thing to both sides, a plus c is greater than b plus c. So here we have the word form, here we have the algebra form. It does not matter which inequality symbol you use. It doesn't matter if it's greater than or less than, if it includes the or equal. Okay, and you've done this. So if n plus 4 is less than 7, we can subtract 4 from both sides. And now our numbers are less than 3 or equal. So less than or equal to 3, we fill in the dot for the or equal. Less than is left of. Okay. Here, a minus 5 is greater than 4. If we add 5 to both sides, we see a has to be greater than 9. Okay. So here's 0, here's my 9. Greater than does not have over the or equal. I'm pointing the arrowhead the same way. Remember, you can check this. So if I put 12 in for a, 12 minus 5 is 7, and that's certainly greater than 4. On the first one, something less than 3. So if I pick 1, 1 plus 4 is 5. That's less than 7. And the third example, we subtract 5 from both sides. So my numbers are greater than or equal to -2. Okay, so or equal, greater than, bigger than, going to the right. And we can pick a number. If we put 0 in for x, 0 plus 5 is greater than 3. These are a little different in that the variables on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. I again would put or solve it for d, or whichever variable, and I'm going to switch it. So I'm still comparing d and 2, it's got to continue pointing at the D. Please do not try to do both steps at once. You'll confuse yourself. It's the sign of someone being too lazy to show their work. Don't do that. Okay? I know you guys are all really smart, but sometimes you'll make a mistake. If you pick a number less than -2, like -5, 4 will be greater than -5 plus 6. It doesn't matter if you want to switch it first. It continues to point at the same number at the 8. And now add 7 to both sides. So here we want numbers greater than 15. And we could again check it. If we put 20 in for P, 8 is less than 20 minus 7. 8 is less than 13. M minus 3 is greater than or equal to 2. Again, I'm pointing it at the same number. It's still pointing at the 2. So now when I add 3 to both sides, my M is greater than or equal to 5. And we can check it. If we put 6 in, 2 is less than 6 minus 3. Right? Again, take 2 steps to do that. It does not matter which you do first. If you solve it first or if you switch it first. Okay, notice also that the P minus 7 stayed in the same order. The M minus 3 stayed in the same order. You flip the sides, but you don't flip the order of your expression that has more than one term, the P minus 7, the M plus 3. Okay, and I already gave you an example where you use inequalities often with money, but here's another quick inequality in an application. Your little sister brought home a guideline from the public health nurse that states her backpack should weigh no more than 8 pounds. What are you going to do with no more than? So if it's not greater than, that's the same as what? Well, not more than is certainly less than, but what about or equal? If it's not more than 8, can it equal 8? Yes, it can. So we want the backpack to be less than or equal to 8 pounds. Okay, now you being the great big sibling that you are, you grabbed hers, and you found that her backpack already weighs 4.2 pounds. So how much more can you add so that it's still okay, that she can still safely carry? It won't make her back sore, it won't drop her backwards when she's walking unbalanced or something. And there you have an expression. X is the additional weight you can add. It's already 4.2. That's supposed to be less than or equal to 8. So if we subtract 4.2 from both sides, I believe you'll get 3.8. So she can carry up to 3.8 additional pounds. And you can graph that. That's what I thought. I thought it was the last one. Ask me questions if you have them, but now you should be able to go back and work the assignment.